So how should we be thinking about ads during Q4? Hi, my name is Elizabeth Greene. I'm one of the co-founders of Junglr. We're an Amazon advertising agency. So that's what we're going to talk about today is Amazon advertising during Q4. The main thing that happens during Q4 is increases of traffic. Reason being, it is a consumer season. People are shopping for gifts, they're shopping for themselves, and there's just more traffic coming to the Amazon platform. There's a lot of days, Cyber Monday, Black Friday, we call it the Turkey 5, which launches us straight into Q4, holiday shopping, all the way up till Christmas. You should see a really big boom. And there's a couple things that happen during this time that you need to know about and know how to adjust your ads for. Particularly with that traffic comes more clicks, right? There's more people on the platform, more people clicking around. That makes sense. The other thing that happens with addition to these clicks is oftentimes there is higher conversion rates. So with more people on the platform ringing to buy, again, we get more clicks, but most of those should translate into sales, and that just means elevated sales for people selling on Amazon. That's the good news. Now, what's the maybe not so good news? And the other thing we need to be aware of with the increase in traffic is often we have to pay higher cost per clicks around this time. Now, it's not because Amazon is trying to make us pay more ad dollars. The reason why cost per clicks go up at this time is, remember, Amazon advertising is an auction. So oftentimes your competitors are valuing this increase in traffic and they want to get more of it. They want to get more visibility on the platform, and so they will increase their bids, which drives up the cost per click, because if somebody is willing to pay double for a particular ad placement, Amazon is more than willing to allow somebody to pay double. It's simply the name of the game when it comes to competition. And so what all of this means is that our ad spend is going to increase, because your ad spend is how many clicks you have times what you're paying for cost per click. If both of those are elevated, your ad spend is going to increase. And so what we need to be thinking about as far as strategy for running ads during these high traffic times and during Q4 is, where can we make smart bets? Now, what do I mean by bets? Bets are going to be the things that you give increase to. So increases in budget, increases in your bids, or perhaps using things like placement percentages, perhaps dynamic up and down only, although I don't really recommend using that one, but I do believe it has its place. But the main thing you're going to be focusing on is increasing bids and increasing budgets. Those are the bets that we're looking to make. And then what we need to evaluate is how to take safer bets, what looks like a safe bet, and what is a risky bet. And how we're going to be able to evaluate that is through the data. So first, let's go over risky bets. Lower conversion rate. As you can imagine, if you have more clicks, if you're paying higher cost per clicks, things that just don't convert well for your product are not going to translate into good performance. During Q4, what we want to focus on is not a whole bunch of testing. We don't want to launch a whole bunch of new things. Now, you can't launch anything in Q4, but generally speaking, you just want to hone in on what is working. And so risky bets are going to be the things that don't work as well, namely things with lower conversion rates. It's going to take you more clicks to get those sales. If it's taking you more clicks and you're paying more cost per click, you can imagine how you just would get exponentially worse performance out of something. So the first one that would be a bigger risk to take if we were increasing bids would be things that don't have good conversions on them. The other thing that can be more of a risky bet is broader targeting. Now, there is, I want to say, controversy around this, but somewhat, because I am in the test all match types crowd. I do believe in running phrase match, broad match. I do believe in categories. I do believe in running automatic campaigns. That being said, those are more riskier bets, particularly when it comes to increasing bids. Not always when it comes to budget, providing you are controlling things at a bid level, but the reason why these are riskier bets is because of how the targeting type works. So let me explain. When I'm talking about broader targeting, I'm talking about things that just pull a bunch of different search terms and you have less control over them. And why they can be riskier bets is because with little control, there's potential for you to start triggering search terms that you weren't triggering before, especially during high traffic times when there's much more people on the platform. There becomes much more searches with higher search volume that might not have triggered in the past simply because there's more people. It's like monkeys on a keyboard typing in random things. You'll just get an excess of search terms, which can be great, but if you have little control over what is being targeted through these broader match types and you've increased your bid, so you're paying more for something, the potential to trigger something that would not perform well is a lot greater in these broader targeting types. So that would be what I would consider a risky bet. It's not that we might not want to increase our bids on a broad match, it's you do want to be very cognizant of what you're doing, and you do want to make sure when you are increasing bids, you don't want to increase them too much on these broader targeting types, again, especially when there is high traffic on the platform during these high traffic times. And the other thing that is a risky bet are things that have high variables in the cost per click. Again, let me explain. I'm talking about things with placement percentages as well as dynamic up and down bidding. Now, these are things that you can introduce into the campaign to change how Amazon is able to increase your cost per click. So it's not that it's a bad idea to leverage placements and even potentially dynamic up and down bidding during high traffic times. It's that you want to be leveraging these in places where it makes sense. So my recommendation, if you're going to go for things like placement percentages or dynamic up and down bidding, one, again, the name of the game is controlling where your ad spend is going, controlling where those elevated cost per clicks are happening. So one, make sure you're not coupling these too much with, again, those broader targeting types. And then also you want to make sure that whatever you're setting placements, you have the data to confirm that that is not a risky bet. For instance, if you had a campaign with broad match and then your top of search placement performance was at, say, 100% ACoS, probably doesn't make any sense to give Amazon the leeway to increase cost per clicks there because your performance just already isn't good. That, again, those things are what I would consider risky bets. All right, so what bets should you be taking, right? What things should you be looking for, again, to increase? So when we're talking about bets, we're talking about increasing budgets, increasing bids, basically increasing what we're doing in specific targeting on the platform. So the one that we want to look at is if we have more tighter targeting. So in these cases, I'm talking about exact match mainly. Phrase match can work as well. Perhaps singular ASIN targeting, not categories, but ASIN targeting. These things, again, are more pinpointed and help us more strategically deploy where the extra ad dollars are going, and primarily things with good conversion rates. So if you can combine tighter targeting with better conversion rates, that's a place that it makes a lot of sense to take a bet that is going to continuously perform, because we know any ad dollars we increase on it, well, it's going to go to this one specific place, and we've already proven out that this works really well for the product, so therefore it makes sense to take this bet. Again, budgets, right? So it's the same thing with risky bets. We're basically saying, like, what do we know, one, has the potential to just kind of spin out of control, and then two, what are the things that just we've proven don't work through the data? So with taking safe bets, we're looking at things that we've proven do work, and we want to continuously, push our resources to those things. So when we're talking about budgets, hey, what campaigns do we have that, one, again, look what is contained within the campaign, how much control do I have over where this ad budget is getting deployed, and then also what are the campaigns that I have already proven work well for my products, help me gain additional sales. Let's continue to devote resources there. And then the third thing is definitely going to be placement percentages. Is one, where can we make sure that the increases in cost per clicks are going to very specific targeted things, and then two, where are the placement percentages performing the best? Honestly, again, it's all about the data. We want to go in, we want to look at the current data inside the campaign. How is that one placement doing? For instance, what I showed before, if you have a top of search placement that's doing 100% ACoS, that might not be something you want to increase. So it probably doesn't make sense for us to use a top of search placement percentage here. But if we have one that is performing at a 20% ACoS, and say our campaign targets for the overall account is like 30%, we definitely have a lot of wiggle room there. If we're performing really well, we're getting a lot of sales top of search, it definitely makes sense for us to go through and increase that. Now, the other thing is a safer bet is going to be a more incremental increase. So if we went through and we said, oh my goodness, top of search is working great, let's put a 900% increase when we were going from 0 to 900, the amount of change or variable there is much greater than, say, if we put like 100%. Again, the name of the game is going through, seeing what is performing, what makes sense to devote more resources to, and then making those incremental adjustments. So I did tell you that there was one thing that was going to make this strategy impossible, and that is having no data. Why is this so difficult? Is because with these bets, either risky or safe bets, a lot of them are relying on our performance data to make that assessment. Does this make sense for my brand? Am I performing here? Am I not performing here? And then adjusting accordingly. If you have absolutely no data to base those decisions off of, you're kind of just stuck. And I want to go over the two main things that it's really important to have data on for you to be able to make this assessment. So the main one is clicks, actually. The more clicks that you have on a specific target, the more proof of concept you have for that one particular target. For instance, if you have a keyword, maybe it has like 5% ACoS, it sounds amazing, but you got one click and you got one sale. Is that a proven target? Is that a safe bet? Not exactly, because it was kind of a one-off, and I can guarantee you there is no product on the platform, I do not care how amazing it is, you are not going to get 100% conversion rate. So in this case, it's probably actually more of a risky bet, even though we already have, again, technically data to show that it works really well. We don't have enough data. So you can see why not having enough clicks on a target can really make it difficult to determine if something is a safe or a risky bet. And the other thing that is difficult to determine if something is a safe or a risky bet is if there is no sales history on it. Now, you're always going to have those targets within the campaign that just don't convert. Sometimes the keywords or the search queries make sense and we figure like we should be converting here, but sometimes they just don't. But if you don't have anything that is making sales within the account, well, then again, it's basically impossible to make these safe bets because you don't have anything to bet on that it will continuously work, because you don't actually have anything that's working. Even if you have things that are generating sales, but maybe the ACoS is a little bit above your targets, well, at least you know that some shoppers who are browsing that search query resonate with your product and are okay with purchasing it. If your ACoS is high, it might be that your cost per clicks are too high, and then again, you can make bets on testing different bids, or it could be that your conversion rate is too low. In that case, you know, maybe you go through and you analyze your product, but at least you have some information on where your product converts. If you have nowhere that your product converts, well, then again, it gets very difficult to determine where you should make those safe or risky bets. So the name of the game before Q4, the rest of the year, is definitely testing, getting the data feedback so you can take these bets. And then during Q4, what we're doing is we're analyzing the data, we're analyzing the account, what works, what doesn't work, and we're making strategic bets accordingly. So there's the strategy to running in Q4. Now, if you are kind of unsure and you don't really have a lot of data, I definitely recommend checking out this video. This will give you great insights into what actually Amazon thinks are your best search terms. And then if you understand where you should start as far as campaign types, I would definitely check out this video on the 6 things that you can ignore when you're first starting out in Amazon advertising. And as always, I will see you in the next one.